All right, guys, what's going on? I'm going to show you exactly how to market on Reddit and why you need to be marketing on Reddit if you haven't looked at it before. Now, Reddit is exploding. You've probably seen other people talking about marketing on Reddit and how to generate leads on Reddit. And Reddit's actually starting to change. So this is the perfect time to come in as a marketer. And there's some huge advantages that I'm going to be talking about. Now, I have made affiliate sales just from a comment. Okay. There was a comment on a post about video editing. And I mentioned how I used the script, which I freaking love. I'm actually using it to record this video. I'll put a link below. But the important thing is that I just made a comment and I brought some new people over and I made 3 sales from one comment. This wasn't even a post that I made myself. But in this training, you're going to see how you can create a post and how to optimize that, what kind of posts are going to work best, all that kind of stuff. So be ready to take some notes, dig in. This is going to be a really cool source of information for you. Reddit is a platform that hates being sold to, and it can be very virulent against you if you are not following the rules. So I'm going to explain what those rules are and how to use them as a marketer. Very interesting. So here's the thing. So every other platform, so think Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, not so much YouTube, but particularly those other ones, you have to be popular in order to be seen. And that's a problem because what happens if you're not popular, right? So your content's reach is not necessarily determined by the quality of your content on these other platforms. It's on how slick your video production is and all that kind of stuff. So that's a content barrier that makes it really hard for, let's say, slightly older people to succeed online, people that don't want to invest and double down and just spend all their time creating really good videos. What do you do if you want to market? What do you do if you want to do this like part-time? So this is where Reddit is going to be a huge power player for you. On Instagram, you need to have follower count and engagement in order to get reach. That's important. So you need these high quality visuals, short videos. So that's a high barrier to entry. YouTube, you need subscriber count and watch time. Now you do need good video production. You can get away just with good content, but does take a lot of time, and you need to spend a lot of time creating good content if you're going to go anywhere on YouTube. And I'm talking more about long form videos. Shorts, again, it falls into the same thing where you need this production value, you need to be clever, you need all these other things. Facebook, you need a lot of likes and comments. You need to be posting almost daily or multiple times a day, and you need to build that audience. Or you need to do ad spend. And those are the ways that work on Facebook. And Threads, you need follower count, and you also need short, witty content. So if you don't have viral threads, you're not going to get into the algorithm. You're not going to get distributed. And so that's a problem. And not all content is necessarily witty. So witty content does well on X, but what if you're not witty? What if you just have good content? Reddit is a place to go. The primary success metric for Reddit is upvote velocity and how much value you pack into the post. So you can't really control upvote velocity, but you can control how much value is in the post. And long form text, detailed guides works really well. If you go on Reddit, you'll see images, you'll see memes, but you won't see this kind of polished, like kind of stuff that you need to survive on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, that type of thing. So on other platforms, content is based on who you are, building that audience, posting every day. On Reddit, it's based on the quality of your content. So this works good for everyone. And on Reddit, your content is your credential. So it's the anti-aesthetic platform. It rewards substance over style. It rewards data over hype, and it rewards proof over polish. So you don't need 10,000 followers. You just need a really valuable post. You don't even need that much karma. So how it works is they have this upvote economy. It's similar to Product Hunt. If you're from the SaaS world, micro SaaS world, you're familiar with Product Hunt, which is where makers go to release their products. And the winner, if you get the most upvotes in the day, that's really good, and you get more distribution. So it's like that. It has the upvote mentality, upvote economy. So visibility is a meritocracy. If you have a high value post that other people like, it will naturally get upvotes and you'll naturally get more and more distribution. So it's somewhat anonymous. And this means you can be a leader in the field without ever putting out your name there. And this is very interesting. So there's a couple ways to play this. You'll see this some people, like I have an account on Reddit where it's actually like my avatar and it's my name. When you create an account on Reddit, you cannot change the username. So that's locked. So you either go with yourself and maybe you're going to put a real picture in there and that stands out really well on Reddit, or you could just go with the little Reddit guy, or doesn't matter what avatar you use, but you can be totally anonymous. So there's anonymous users, but the anonymity and anonymity isn't quite full. And what I mean by that, if people can see, even though you're anonymous, you can still go back and see on that Redditor's account history. And this is really important for Redditors because they fact check. If you just open a new account and you post about the same thing in 5 different subreddits, someone can go there, look at that and see, oh yeah, this guy's just spamming his link. Okay. So that's what's interesting, but you can really build a faceless brand quickly on Reddit. Everything is very niche based. And you might think, like, how many people are on Reddit? I'll just use this example because I like this example. Poutine crimes. Okay. Poutine crimes is a subreddit just based on bad poutine. People post pictures and talk about how bad their poutine was. Now, if you don't know what poutine is, it's a dish that originated in Quebec, and it is French fries with cheese curds, a particular type of cheese, supposed to be, and then gravy over top. Okay. So a lot of people can mess it up, but there's 150,000 Redditors approximately in that subreddit. And you can go in all these sub niches. You don't need to go into the big small business, SaaS, ChatGPT. They have all those, but there's very more niche sub niches about just about anything that you can think of. And that is where you get your bread and butter and how you win on Reddit. It's playing in these little things. You want to stop acting like a marketer and start acting like a member. And so what this means is you don't want to act like a marketer on Reddit because you're going to get flamed. People are going to call you out for it. They can be very almost rude or crude in doing that. So you want to be a member. You want to be in these groups that you naturally be interested in. And when I would recommend that you join maybe a couple of groups that you want to be participating in, and then also just join some subreddits that you're interested in, that you naturally have interest in, and you actually become a user of that platform. So what's cool is then you can mix it up. Okay. And so you can have a natural looking account because again, the anonymity isn't exactly the same thing as it is on maybe other platforms. You may be anonymous, but your account history and what you post about is public and people will follow that. So you want to avoid the ban hammer. The Reddit also, if you break the rules, each subreddit has rules on the right-hand side. Read those before you post. If you break them, you will get banned, often without warning. So it can be very unforgiving. You can ask the mods to be let back in, but just don't do it in the first place. That's a much better thing to do. So as I mentioned, the rules on the side here, and you'll see here on this slide here on the right-hand side, there's the entrepreneur subreddit. And these are the rules. And it basically says 10 comment karma in entrepreneur to post. So you have to have 10 comment karma. That's not hard to get, but you do want to read all those different rules and drop down and read exactly what it says, because the cultures are really important in subreddits and each subreddit is different. So that's important to keep in mind too. So in the beginning, you're going to do a lot of reading and you're going to see a lot of stuff in the entrepreneur rules or in the subreddit rules that talk about spam, that talk about marketing, and that talk about dropping links. So you need to take those with a grain of salt and realize they're rules, and also understand that you can get banned for posting a link in the wrong subreddit. Number 2, mods are gods. The moderators, they have absolute power. They can ban you. They will ban you without warning. So, it always pays to lurk in a subreddit, look who the mods are first, and see what kind of things that they're banning for and how they're communicating. And then the authenticity detector. So yeah, they will analyze your post history. A lot of times you'll see things like, oh, thanks ChatGPT, because this person is suggesting that the post was written by ChatGPT. And so they look at that, they look at the tone, they look at your post history in some cases and will mention that, oh, they posted this in 5 other subreddits, that type of thing. So that's important to understand as well. So here's the goal. Get your account open. I think it's easier to build an anonymous account and then build your foundation for the long game. In order to post in certain communities, you need karma. Okay. And that is the invisible social currency of Reddit. And you get it when people like your posts. You can see where this is under your profile, but basically there's post karma and comment karma. And so your posts will either get karma or can lose you karma. And the same thing with the commas. Generally, you'll be increasing your karma. So you don't really need to worry about it. But a lot of subreddits have automatic filters that block new accounts. So if you have a brand new account, if you don't have any karma, your post can get deleted without warning. So you want to start on subreddits that you're genuinely interested in, maybe some easy ones, like if you're into cats or if you're into carpentry or whatever, just join some of these things, comment a bit, and you'll start to accumulate the karma. There's no clear rules about how much karma you get. It's like an algorithm thing, but you don't really need to worry about it once you start getting going. So you can earn comment karma easier and faster. You just go to large subs, sort by new or rising, and leave insightful comments or helpful comments and try to be the first. Number 2 is the niche. Then move into your niche and you want to start answering questions in there. This is just commenting at first. You're experiencing Reddit. You're learning the ropes. You're watching, you're observing. And then number 3, engage with content that's really good. High production is a liability. It doesn't need to be high production. You can have things that are raw as long as it's authentic, as long as people think you're really giving some insightfulness or some kind of point of view that wasn't written by ChatGPT, you'll do good. The best marketing, it doesn't look like marketing at all. So there's different posts you can do. The best one is text posts. This is the most powerful format. It's great for long form guides, case studies, how-to, personal stories. That's where you can say, hey, I found this, I tried this, and I realized this, and then blah, 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 that type of thing. You can make images and infographics. They have to look authentic, but you can do this with, let's say, Notebook LM, and these will jump up in the feed because a lot of people, they'll be scrolling and then they'll be like pictures will jump out. Typically, text posts are what you're going to do more selling and more community building with. Even if you post an image, you're not going to really build a lot of trust that way, whereas you would with a text post. So even though you want to prioritize text posts even over images. Links, fastest way to get banned. Almost never post a direct link. This gets tracked, and Reddit also tracks what percentage of your posts have a link in them. And obviously a high percentage is bad. The mods can see that. And when you're a new person coming in, posting in a group, and if most of your posts have links, then, it's not going to be very good. So that's why you want to play around with it a little bit too. And then video is really niche dependent. You can use video and it jumps out on the feed because there's not a lot of video on the platform, apart from like fails, funny stuff, and stuff that's very specific to a niche. So it can work, but you need to test it out. And again, think of a way to do it more authentically. So what makes content spread on Reddit? Basically, if it fills these 3 angles, these are what I found works best. The missing piece, content that's so useful and specific that people want to upvote it. Okay. So a very detailed explanation about something. Emotional resonance, the story. So like a story of struggle, failure, or triumph. I thought this, and then same thing on Facebook. I did this and then I almost died and then everything went good. That type of thing. Or the shared laugh or outrage. Humor works really well. Memes work really well on Reddit, although it's hard to get marketing around those, and just outrage. You can complain and it's a great place to do that as well. So the soft sell. So once you're a member of the community, then you can occasionally mention what you do. The key is to make it a natural extension of what you're already doing. So this is a good one. I built this because I was frustrated framework. So you could frame your product as a solution to a personal pain point. Okay, that works well. Number 2 is the help versus sell later. So spend 90% of your time giving away your best advice in comments and posts, and then eventually you can post your link. And people will start recognizing your username as well. So you give and then you take. So that's the way to do that. This is pretty crazy. There's 70 million daily active users, and this is up from pre-IPO. There was an IPO a little while ago, 50 million. At 18 minutes is the average time spent per visit. 92 of users trust Reddit. That's why if you are in SEO, you will see on your analytics or in your Google Search Console, you'll see name of product, Reddit. So people will search the name of the product and then the word Reddit because they want to see what other Redditors think about it. So it's a really phenomenal platform. People really trust it. And then they have a high post value. So some of the posts can actually be entrenched in SEO. And so they made some deals with Google, with ChatGPT to train on their data as well. That's why you're starting to maybe see more posts of Reddit in the search engines. But if you can participate in that discussion and it's already indexed on Google, then you have two kicks at the can. You have the natural Reddit algorithm where people are naturally finding it on Reddit. And then you also have Google, right? So there's kind of two locations. So that's why it's really significant and much more effective than I think any of the other platforms, apart from YouTube. Google owns YouTube, so they put YouTube videos in the search results as well. So they're also pulling into ChatGPT. So you'll get results from the LLMs and they'll pull from Reddit as well. So it's very rewarding, and definitely take a look at some of these stats, really important. So here's a 90-day action plan. Phase 1 is the first 30 days. This is where you build your karma. So you create your anonymous niche aligned account. You spend weeks lurking in some subreddits. Now, 20 subreddits, if you're doing marketing, maybe you could do that. Probably a little bit less if you have a more of a niche thing, and maybe you just want to focus on a couple things. But there's a subreddit for just about everything. There's even subreddits for a lot of different products where, you know, it's either run by the official group and they provide support or they don't. Phase 2 is your contribution. This is where you become a commenter in 3 to 5 small niche subreddits and you focus on these ones. You go in there every day. Best thing to do is to, on your browser, bookmark a few subreddits and then you go into those each and every day and comment or post something. Just try to give value, give variety, become a recognized expert. And then this is where you do the next phase, day 69, you can start doing the traffic generation and mix that up. When you start the traffic generation and dropping your links, go back to giving some value as well. You want to flow between the two and almost have a ratio of about 8 or 9 value posts or contributions to every one where you're dropping a link. And even in some subreddits, even after that, you still can't drop links. So it does depend. Obviously, as subreddits get bigger and have more people, their rules become tighter for those types of things. So that's why when you're doing a search on Reddit, sometimes you can go into a Reddit and then they'll see related subreddits. You might get, oh, so that's related and it's a smaller one. So you can check that out. So you want to filter down to these smaller ones that are a little bit more relaxed about the rules. So here's the code distilled. Become a community member first and a marketer second. That's really important. 2, your authenticity is your armor. Always keep this. Authenticity is gold. Give away your best content and just trust that eventually in the process, it will lead to conversion. Now, here's the thing about that is that people think, oh, I can't give away my best content because what am I going to sell? But it's really the opposite. If you give away your great content, people will think, wow, if this guy's giving this away for free, imagine what his paid content is. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then 4, solve the community's shared pain. Get into that pain and share what worked for you. All right, guys, that should give you a good starting point to market on Reddit. As I said, I've had a lot of success on Reddit myself, and I definitely think you should give it a try, particularly because you don't need to be handsome, good looking. You don't need to post all day. You don't need high video production. You don't need any of those things. You can just do that right now. So go forth, do that. And I've also got a more detailed guide that's going to go into a bit more specifics. I'll put a link to that as well, so you can check that out below this video. All right, that's all I got for now. Guys, go out there and make it happen. And because it's anonymous, sorry, well, I don't need to have you follow me on Reddit. It doesn't work like that. But go check it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun on Reddit as I do.